What's up, no load time? Joel here. I am back. I know it's late, but I'm giving you all my Friday recap. The reason it's coming through so late is because I was in line to make sure I'm getting into Hall H for tomorrow. So, yeah, tomorrow, guys, I will be spending all day in Hall H. For those of you that may not be that familiar with what that is, essentially that is the main stage for the convention, and tomorrow having the biggest panels of the entire convention. It is the most coveted, probably, room to be in. 6,000 strong, as The Rock said. We'll be in there watching Black Adam, Shazam, Marvel, Wakanda Forever, Star Trek, Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, and some other things. I'm sure some surprises, many surprises, and just a great show overall. So there's a lot of anticipation for it. We'll be talking more about it tomorrow when I do my recap at the end of Saturday. But today, let's talk about Friday. Friday, pretty straightforward. First of all, got to do the Marvel Studios panel. Today's Marvel Studios is not going to be like tomorrow's Marvel Studios. Today was animation specific. So they talked about, and this is just a brief recap. I'm going to have to make some more content to really break it down further. It's super late here, so I just want to make sure I give you all this update at least. But I promise you, I'll come back and we'll talk about more in depth. But essentially, the main things they talked about the Marvel Studios panel were properties that we were aware of. They didn't really announce any new shows. They basically talked about I Am Groot, and that was the first one they talked about. And with I Am Groot, they actually showed us one of the episodes, Groot taking a bath. These are really short. The shorts are coming out next month. I want to say it's August 10th, I think they said. But I mean, the fantastic visuals for this. I mean, it's a little more of a 3D style, and it looks so good on those projectors. I think people are going to be amazed at how good. I mean, you could care less about, maybe you are a group fan, maybe you're not, but wow. I mean, I assume that they're using the Disney animation team for this because it just looks so good. But yeah, it's more of a silly, fun kind of take. The creator showrunner, she was talking about how she has a young child. I think she had a 3-year-old child, if I'm mistaken. So she, she was able to kind of personally relate to the character, which is great, right? When you have that recognition of that specific, what kind of character-driven stories that you're going to create in these shorts. So she was considerate of that in creating this, and you can see that it's a very lighthearted, youthful Groot that you'll see, and I think that'll be very fun, very sweet for all of us to have fun with and enjoy watching. So I look forward to seeing more of it. What we saw was just more of a fun, comedic episode of Groot learning to take a bath, and when you're a tree in water, you can imagine what happens there. So I won't spoil what exactly that was. And next thing we got to do is listen to the Marvel Studios that they talked about Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is the animated series that, similar, I think I mentioned before in my preview video for just the entire convention. You're seeing this move towards kind of like what's going on with Star Wars The Clone Wars, where the Clone Wars show is tying directly into live action stuff, right? Well, that's kind of what they're doing here too with this, where Spider-Man Freshman Year is directly within the MCU, the Tom Holland Spider-Man. It is the same Peter Parker, but it's just that's his freshman year, so it's before you see him really go full on Spider-Man as we know him in the future films. I believe it's set right after Civil War, so you'll get, or just before Civil War, I believe. So you get that behind the scenes a little bit. In the show, some of the cool stuff is Nico from the Runaways is going to be in the show. She's going to be a good friend of Peter's and going to his school with him, so she's going to be a friend and classmate of his. You're also going to have Norman Osborn showing up, and this is not the William Dafoe Norman Osborn, because as we know, that was from a different universe, right? When we learn about the different crossovers that happen from the Doctor Strange stuff, right? So it's a little different. But this Norman Osborn, you'll see, it's a mentor to Peter, which is not far off from what we've seen before. So that's pretty cool to see there. A bunch of characters that were revealed. Make sure to check out on our YouTube channel. I uploaded actually the speaking part of the panel. I'm looking to try to re-upload it because the quality of it ended up coming out very poorly. I'm hoping to see if I can fix that. Don't have enough resources here doing all this, running the show myself, so that will probably come at another date. That's why it's important to stay subscribed, because we're going to keep pushing out at the best we can, trying as hard as we can to get this stuff out to you guys. But yeah, Nico from the Runaways coming in, being a good friend of Peter's, going to school with him as well. So that's going to be pretty unique. And also, you're going to have Matt Murdock show up in the show, specifically the Charlie Cox one. Charlie Cox is actually doing the voice. So it's not just his Daredevil, but it's the actual actor himself. So it's the same. It's in that same timeline as the Netflix stuff, right? Where he's wearing the black suit. So that's going to be cool that they're keeping it consistent with what we've seen before on television. So I thought that was cool. I mean, that's why we see that it is canon. It's not direct, but it is canon. So I like that they're including that, more than just having the face and having a character reappear. But that leads me into, other thing with that is they also revealed that they are having a season 2 and they're already working on it, Spider-Man sophomore year. So plenty of Spider-Man content to come. Clearly a lot of stories. I'm pretty excited about that. Coming 2024, so got a lot of time. But so the fact that they even showed us just art of what they're doing and the stories they're working on, I'd imagine by Comic-Con 2023 that you'll probably be able to actually see some actual renderings. But still, pretty awesome. Look forward to watching it. I love Spider-Man. No secret. Next thing we got coming up, we had Marvel Zombies. Think about how with What If, they had that one Zombies episode where they're keeping it the exact same universe. It's not like, they're making a new Zombies thing. It's directly off of that one episode. They're making an entire series around that, what happened in that one episode. So, like, if you've seen What If, spoilers ahead. But spoilers ahead and all this for everything I'm going to be talking about. But, with What If, you might know that also, like, Steve, dies, right? Trying to take down Bucky. Well, he didn't decide, became a zombie, right? So, you've got, same thing with Wanda, and there's other characters that come in, like Abomination's going to be in it, and, so you're going to see a flurry of things. Again, watch the video. It's got in-depth details directly from the actual people because it is the panel. Hopefully the higher quality won't be coming later. So that was interesting. But then you get into the What If stuff, and that was huge. What if we actually got to see at the end of the panel the first, I assume it's the first episode of What If season 2, and that is what if Captain Carter fought Hydra Stomper. And we know that obviously she was going to fight the Hydra Stomper for season 2 because that's literally where they ended in season 1, right? That she finds Steve. Spoilers, right? She finds Steve. Steve's been found, right? After years thought he was dead. Kind of adapting multiple characters, in this What If, right? Like how Bucky Barnes was thought to be dead and come back, right? So the entire episode itself looked a lot like the Winter Soldier. Just the way certain scenes are, you'll know when you see it. Sam Jackson back as Nick Fury in the episode. You have Black Widow basically teaming up with Captain Carter and just hanging out as friends, and going on this adventure together to try and bring back Steve, although Steve is not the man they knew him to be before. We also got a full What If season 2 trailer. Really good trailer. A lot of, Odin having some really incredible moments. Hela is going to be in this show. You've got like this almost like this racing, like sand racing kind of looking thing, like Mad Max looking style that they had with like, oh my goodness. It was pretty cool to see. A lot of action coming. I don't know how to say it, but a lot of action coming. We also are going to see that they're going to have a push to also include like Shang-Chi in the show and Miss Marvel. So a lot, they're bringing in the new stuff as well. Same thing with zombies. They also talked about that too. And then they also talked about X-Men 97, and X-Men 97, really bringing back pretty much everybody from the crew. They're bringing back. Same for Wolverine, Beast, Jean Grey, Rogue, Cyclops. And they showed us a quick little previs rendering, which basically was the Sentinels taking on the X-Men as the X-Men were confronting Trask. Just a really quick sequence, and in that sequence, like, Beast is like, "Oh, I'll have control of your heart," like, unwillingly, like, he rips out the Sentinel's like chest piece, and he goes in and connects his hands to the thing, and he's actually controlling it almost like a puppet. It's kind of cool. Pretty cool sequence. Wolverine goes and like slashes at the face. There's a little, it wasn't fully done rendering, just more of like you could tell it was in the process, but still was great that they had something to show us. Fall 2023, X-Men 97. It's coming. Looking forward to it. Did not say anything much more about like how I had speculated about will this be connected to the MCU, because like we've heard the X-Men 97 theme twice now in live action format, right? Multiverse of Madness and in Miss Marvel on Disney Plus. So we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Tomorrow's, the Marvel Studios live action panel. Maybe not. We'll find out more. A lot of speculation there. If you want to hear my speculation, make sure you check out my pre-convention top 4 things I was running down about. I was looking forward to Marvel Studios towards the end of that video. Next, I want to talk to you all about, I did some offsite stuff, today. I went to Petco Park Interactive Zone. Over there, they had like a thing called The Grounded. It's a game. I guess it's on. I think it's on like Steam, and they had it on Xbox there, run by Microsoft. So it was kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but just a different cast. And basically go in, you get to play the game a little bit. And take a picture with a massive tarantula. So those pictures should be sent over to me. I think I'll try and see if I can get those posted if I can. But really, the next big thing of notice that I got to point out to you guys is I made a last-minute decision to go into the Collider Directors on Directing panel. And if you follow us on social media, you'll see that I posted the video on Twitter and YouTube already. But in the middle of the panel was hosted by the editor-in-chief of Collider, Steve Weintraub, and you also had basically the 3 different directors. The director of Deadpool, Tim Miller. You've got Andrew Shan. You got coming from Nemo and Stranger Things, and then we had the director of John Wick also up there. So having these 4 guys up there, 3 directors being interviewed by the questions were not from the audience. They actually were already from other directors. So like Guillermo del Toro dropped in a video. They had Arnold Schwarzenegger come in and do a video. The Russo brothers do a video. So that was pretty cool to see that. But then they're like, oh, we've got a question for someone in the audience. Well, who comes running out? It's Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves comes running out on stage, talking to the guys. He's like, well, he tells them like not to John Wick this, but I've got some John Wick merch. They gave us all these. Check that out. John Wick Chapter 4 official poster. Really nice. Really good quality. All wrapped in plastic. And they showed us the trailer. So that trailer is online right now. So if you haven't seen it, you can go and check it out. Pretty crazy sequence. Played it first twice in Hall H. Which is a fun thing. That's the thing about Hall H. There's always one more thing. That's what we're looking forward to seeing more tomorrow. Well, that does it for me today, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this quick recap video for Friday at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm going to go ahead and get some rest and make sure I'll see more of you guys, more content for tomorrow. Look forward to it. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming. Just be prepared. See you guys.